Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Colby from Mitten Fitness. Today you will need a timer and one heavy object. Let's get to a warm-up for you. Alright, today's warm-up is going to involve 4 Spider-Man lunges, 4 upward to downward dog with toe touches, and 6 overhead good mornings. Show you each of those. For Spider-Man, we're going to get down on that ground. These are going to be in place. Bring that right foot on the outside of that right hand, and we are just going to twist up, world's greatest stretch style. Come down, elbow to the ground, world's greatest stretch style. Then we are going to switch feet. Again, up, then down, then switch, up, down, switch, up, down, and that's 4 Spider-Man stretches, lunges. Then you'll go into 4 upward to downward dog with toe touch. Upward, point that chin at the ceiling, really feel the stretch in your abdomen, your hip flexor area. Get up on the balls of those toes, walk it back to downward dog. When you're back in downward dog, touch those toes, opposite hand, opposite toe, and back to upward dog. Alright, 4 of those. Then you're going to do 6 overhead good mornings. Hip width stance on those. Push the butt back, hinging at the hips. Arms stay out, in line with that torso. Back up. Butt back, hinging at the hips, midline stable, back up. 6 overhead good mornings. We're doing a 6-minute AMRAP of those 3 movements for quality. Nice and slow, nice and smooth, warming up. Alright, press pause, set that timer for 6 minutes. We'll see you back here for strength. Alright, welcome to strength. Today we've got some variations of movements we've been doing. It is a triple threat superset. We've got 3 movements. First one, single leg dumbbell glute bridges. We did double leg dumbbell weighted glute bridges last week. This time it's going to be a single leg. You're doing 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps each side on that, each leg. After those single leg dumbbell glute bridges and that 30 seconds rest, you're going to do a tall kneeling tornado press. 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps. After those tall kneeling tornado presses and the 30 seconds rest, you're going to do single arm overhead Bulgarian split squats. Slight variation because it's overhead today. 4 sets of 6 to 8 of those. Then you roll right back up to the dumbbell, single leg dumbbell glute bridges, and keep going through all 3 movements until you've done 4 total sets of each with 30 seconds of rest in between. Let's go over those movements. For the single leg dumbbell glute bridge, you're going to get down on the ground. Grab that object, place it right on your belt line. Feet, heels are close to your butt for glute bridges. And we're bridging up, but these are single legs. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, it's a 3-second descent. And up as high as you can get. 1, 2, 3. Hips up. 1, 2, 3. Single leg dumbbell glute bridges. For the tall kneeling tornado press, we were doing half kneeling before, which is having a leg out, but with tall kneeling, you're just on both knees and your torso is tall. Grab your object. Now the tornado press is basically twist the torso, press up, and come back down. Okay, so good thoracic twist in there and a press up. bring it down, twist back. Okay, keeping that core stable, the back stable. Everything's kind of in line here. Turn, press, back in. All right, that's 4 sets of those, 6 to 8 reps each side, then 30 seconds rest. After that 30 seconds rest, you'll go into those single arm overhead Bulgarian split squats. All right, for those single arm overhead Bulgarian split squats, make sure whichever side you have the weight on, that leg is propped. Okay? So for these, find a safe distance out from that bench, chair, or ottoman. Get that leg up there propped. Again, it should be the leg that your working arm is on that is propped. Down, parallel, up. Stay locked out, stay balanced. All right. Now if you're scaling, you're just going to want to have whichever arm the weight is in, that leg is back, okay? If you're scaling it to a normal split squat. Again, rack it up, lock it out, come down, back up. For the normal split squat, keep your balance, down, back up, keep your balance, down, back up. All right, single arm overhead Bulgarian split squat. 4 sets of 6 to 8 of those, then back up to the glute bridges all the way through, all 3 movements. 30 seconds rest in between till you've done 4 sets of each. All right, press pause. Have fun with that strength. I'll see you back here for conditioning. All right, conditioning today. It's a new one. We're doing 140 suitcase lunges total. So each arm counts as a rep. If you break that set of 140 up anywhere, you then have to do 10 pistols total. So 5 each side. All right, for the suitcase lunges, you're gonna want a hip width stance. Lean down, squatting, keeping the midline stable till that object, whatever it is, dumbbell, kettlebell, touches the ground. And then you're going to stand it up. Back down, stand it up. Hang tight and I'll show you the pistol movement. It may help if you have a plate or something to put under your heel for those pistol squats, depending on your ankle flexion and your mobility. It does help me. I grab my laces, but whatever you want to do with your free leg to keep it from touching the ground. And then you're squatting with one leg. So down, make that pistol, back up. You want to go to parallel or below, preferably below. I'm just not there yet. And back up. Kind of leaning over, pivoting that body toward the toe and the descent of that right leg. It helps to kind of pivot, drop, and then come up. Now, if you're not there yet, like I barely am, you may do pistol squats to a bench, box, or whatever you have. With those, lift your free leg up, and as gently as you can, come down, gently, back up. Try and keep that other leg completely off the ground so that you're isolating the one leg that's working. All right, those were ugly, but you get the idea. 140, 70 each side. Again, if you break that, then you need to do 10 pistol squats total. And then keep going until you've done 140 single arm suitcase deadlifts total. And then you'll be done with conditioning. All right, welcome back for a very necessary cool down. You always have the option to do the shutdown challenge before you do this cool down. It's in the description below. Today's cool down involves the lizard pose. You're going to do 30 seconds each side on that one. You can do that dynamic or static. And then the world's greatest stretch. With the world's greatest stretch, we're going to rest 30 seconds in each pose. I'm going to show you that now. So start with the world's greatest stretch. Get in that plank position. Then bring your right foot on the outside of that right hand. You're going to leave that left hand planted. You're going to lift that right hand up and try to bring that right elbow to the ground. That is a very strong word, try. Not everybody should be able to, so don't worry about it if you can't, but the point is you're stretching this area right here. Your hamstring, your groin area is opening up. So we're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds. So from this position, you're going to go into a pigeon pose. So you can leave that left arm planked and just bring that leg under. Right leg under. Lower yourself onto your elbows if you can. If you can bring your head down, great. But you're going to hang into this pigeon pose for 30 seconds. You can kind of rock back and forth. Take deep breaths. Try to stretch lower each time. But hold that position for about 30 seconds. After the pigeon, come on up into a straight leg. Hamstring stretch. Bring that toe up. If you can reach that toe, pull it toward you. And you're stretching this, holding this position for about 30 seconds. If you want to do a more dynamic release and stretch for that 30 seconds, you can. And then lastly, keeping that foot forward, you're going to work into a hip flexor stretch. Bring those hands overhead. Push them toward the ceiling and lower, feeling that stretch in the hip flexor. I'll switch sides for you just so you can see. Again, hands toward the ceiling, lower leg, arch the back, feeling that stretch here. And hold for about 30 seconds for that pose. And then do the opposite side. Again, holding 30 seconds for each of those poses of the world's greatest stretch. Prayer stretch. These guys are really good at stretching the tricep, the scap, trap, and back area, as well as in here, the lat. Big time. It's a good movement to get some of that flexibility, that range in the clean, and those front rack positions with the elbows forward, elbows pointing forward. All right. So grab your chair, bench, whatever you've got. You're going to get on this with your palms facing you. Kind of scoot the knees back, drop the head through as best you can. Head should be nice and loose. And then you're going to try and touch those hands to your back. Alright? They may cross over. That's fine. All the while really feeling that stretch in your triceps, in your lats, really loosening up that area. It honestly feels really good. If your hands do overlap, like you see mine are, switch them every once in a while, just to get that full range out of each arm. And again, that head is loose. Breathe through this. You're doing this for 30 seconds, 15 each side if you're overlapping those hands. If you can maintain, my range probably isn't really there. If you can maintain, keeping those, the bottom of those fists together, then you won't have to worry about overlapping the hands. if you can come out, ideally, this shows a limit in my range, but if you could keep your hands spaced apart as if you were holding a bar or a PVC, in fact you could grab a PVC to help you do that, that's gonna help you in the long run as far as your lat flexibility and your bar movements subsequently. Anyway, just kind of hang out down there for 30 seconds, making sure that head's loose, really feeling the stretch. It's a good one. Prayer stretch. Press pause, do those stretches, cool down. We'll see you next time. Hey folks, really appreciate you tuning in. Please do us a favor, press that like button, subscribe, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, like us, follow us. Stay healthy.